Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we're here with Fruits Basket episode 10. I can't believe we're already at episode 10 already. That was really fast. Also, by the time you see this, I will be probably on my way back home from Toronto. So the bachelor party is over by the time you see this. At the time of recording this, I am just leaving for the bachelor party. So I gotta hurry this up. I should have made this in a minute just for old time's sake, because I ain't got the time. But I had to talk about Fruits Basket, especially this episode in particular. We will get into why, but yeah, this episode in particular was something else. But yeah, so for anybody wondering how the bachelor party was, I don't know yet. You'll have to watch the Yaiba video. Shoutouts to Kimetsu no Yaiba. Please go watch Kimetsu no Yaiba. Or at least watch my videos on Kimetsu no Yaiba. Oh my god. What a tool I sound like, I'm sure. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the episode, shall we? So when the episode starts off, we start off on sort of a weird note, that being a nightmare of sorts for Kyo, which is weird. I'm a little confused. I wish we saw what it was he was dreaming about, because he wakes up in like a cold sweat and he was like panting and freaking out, like something was going on. And when I saw that, I was reminded of this scene, or not this scene I suppose, but this clip from and stick with me, the Lord of the Rings commentary for Return of the King. And I know that's weird, but it reminded me of this point where Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan they play Merry and Pippin. They're talking about this scene where Éowyn is like sleeping, and Aragorn like puts the blanket over her so that her hands aren't like out of the blankets. Or no, it was her feet. Yeah, it was her feet. I think it was her feet. Something like that. And he like Aragorn covers her to make sure like the blanket is covering all of her while she's sleeping. And I believe it was Dominic Monaghan was just like, yeah, gotta cover up all your extremities, otherwise you'll have nightmares. And ever since then, I know that he was probably just talking out his butt and that it was all lies, but for some reason I always think of that. So every time I go to bed, I cover up I wrap myself up like a burrito and then I go to bed. So in my head when I was watching that, I'm like, oh, Kyo, should have wrapped yourself up, man. Now you're having nightmares because you didn't wrap yourself up. Gotta wrap up those extremities, my boy. And whatever is up with Kyo, like whatever the nightmare was or whatever mood he's in, because he is in a mood, like this whole episode, he's just salty like the whole way through. But whatever it is, it seems like it's some Soma secrets, some Soma family secrets. Again, y'all are killing me with this. I just wish y'all would talk to each other. It's killing me. Also, speaking of, like, it's almost cruel, but speaking of cruel, the girls in this episode, because it is Valentine's Day, please tell me that's not real. That girls don't I can't speak for Japanese schools, but in Canadian schools, our lockers, they had like combination locks on them. So it would be very difficult to pull that off, what happens in the episode. But if you don't remember what I'm talking about, in the episode when they go to Yuki's locker, there's only like one box of chocolates. And then it's explained that, oh, there's only one box of chocolates because every time a girl goes to Yuki's locker, she throws the chocolates out from the other girl and then leaves hers. And then they point to like the bin where like all the chocolates are. Which, by the way, I'm not even a big chocolate guy. Like confession, I don't really like chocolate almost at all. Like some chocolate I like, but it's very hard for me to find a chocolate that I'm like down for. Most times, it's not like I hate chocolate. I'm just like indifferent towards chocolate. So for me, I'm like if I'm telling you that's a waste of chocolate, that's saying something. But it was just like, to me, I was like, I really hope that girls aren't out here doing that, because that's cruel, you guys. Like, jeez. Like, did anyone else think like that was really mean? Because that was really mean. All the other teenage girls in this story are like, aside from Toru and the girls, they are all like the ones that like hover around Yuki. They are mean. You know, I hear that on Wednesdays they wear pink. So that tangent aside, I don't know what it was about Kyo in this episode, but he really, something was eating at him. And we even get like a throwback to the like, yo, no, I can see it perfectly, Kyo. You have a plum on your back. And that was both a lovely callback, but also made me very like interested, not so much interested, but curious about what's going on with Kyo. Like, it had to do, it had to, we get like a brief glimpse at something, but it happened too quick that I didn't totally see what it was. It looked like some sort of altercation. There's like a very brief flashback. So I'm not super sure what's going on with Kyo, but I am curious to see. Now, that said, Kyo was not the only character who gets a spotlight in this episode. In fact, I would argue that my favorite character gets spotlight in this episode, but in a way that's very surprising. Now this week, both Fruits Basket and JoJo's has left me sort of like shocked by a turn that they took. I won't say what happened to JoJo's if you're not watching it, but like it's both episodes have like really taken my expectations and then like flipped them on their head, because I was all excited for a Shigure focused episode, and then I was suddenly like very confused by what we received. I'm sort of at a loss on like how I'm going to broach this, because anybody who has seen these videos knows that Shigure is my boy. In fact, he's more than my boy. He's my husbando. I don't know why I said it in that voice, but Shigure is my husbando. So to me, he's like my favorite character on the show. Like, I love every scene with Shigure in it. He's my man. The only like for example, the ships in this episode are pretty high key. Like low key, I'm sort of starting to ship Yuki and Haru a bit lately. So the Yuki Toru relationship, while I still find cute, for some reason I'm just leaning towards Yuki Haru. But I'm still all about that Kyo and Kagura life. Shout out to Kagura, by the way. She is also in this episode, and it was nice to see her again. And I still think they're the best ship. However, the only ship that is better than that one is clearly Shigure and me. Shigure and JoJo talks too much. Clearly, best ship of the show. Am I right? Or am I right? And the reason I bring that up, and the reason why I was praising Shigure earlier, is because I need you to know that he is still my husbando. I still love him dearly. But if this plan of his, because it is revealed that there's a plan up his, he has a trick up his sleeve of some kind, and it involves lying in some way to Toru. And if she is hurt by this, I will never forgive you. Shigure, I need you to really listen to me, and listen well. If Toru is hurt by this, I will find you, and I will kill you. With love. I will crush you to death with love, but I will still kill you. I don't know how to feel about that turn. Again, the same way as this week's episode of JoJo's, there was a turn in that I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. And this plot turn, or plot twist rather, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I want to say like, yes, I love it. Because a lot of you were very cool in being like, hey, like, JoJo, I see you like Shigure, that's neat. He's your husbando, oh, interesting. Are you sure about that? Nobody spoiled this turn for Shigure, and I didn't see this coming. Like, I should have known, because again, people were saying like, that's interesting. I'm curious to see what you think about him later, but that's interesting. So I knew at some point, and just by the way, like Shigure's been like shown to be like sort of like mischievous, like he has like that like dark side to him. So I knew something was coming. But I didn't know that it would necessarily, I thought it was going to be like all Somas, and that he was using Toru as like a way to, I thought it had something to do with bringing Yuki and Kyo together, that his whole plan was like to distance Yuki and Kyo from Akito because Akito's a bad influence. But that does not seem to be the case. In fact, it seems, and this is where I got grossed out, and my love for my boy was tested, was that he said Akito is the one most precious to him. Like, ew, what? Akito is most precious to you, Shigure? What about me? No, but seriously, like, Akito? Really? Akito sucks. I mean, for me, right now, so far, Akito's lame, so far. I'm sure he's better later, although even manga fans are like, he gets better, but I don't want to say he's good. But yeah, like, Akito sucks. Really? Akito? But then again, he says it there, but it's then repeated later that the one that he cares most about is himself, which, I mean, we could sort of assume. Shigure is a bit of a self-centered dude. Not so much in a bad way, kind of in a bad way, but not totally. It's part of the reason why we like him. But, so maybe he was lying to Akito, but it seemed like it was all in his head, like that it was a monologue, like an inner monologue, so maybe he was lying to himself, or maybe he was, like, maybe he's lying later when he says that the one he cares about most is himself. I just, it's a lot to take in. For you shonen fans out there, the way I can best describe my feelings right now is that I'm starting to feel like Shigure is secretly like the Aizen of the group. he's it's like it's all according to Keikaku. And you know what? I'm right there with Hattori, where I'm not with Shigure, but I'm not against Shigure either. I don't know what the plan is. I just know he's up to some mischief, but I still love him. So I'm gonna be outside. I'm not gonna take a side on Shigure's plan here just yet. But I will say, I'm confused. I don't know what the dream he's referring to means. He mentioned another name that I don't know if I was necessarily meant to know who he was talking about, like Aya or something. I was like, have we met an Aya? I thought Hattori's, was it Hattori's like old girlfriend or fiance? I don't think that's who it was. But they did show a flashback, and I don't know. That scene was a little confusing. But then again, most things in Fruits Basket where they're just like sort of alluding to something, they're like, for you anime onlys, you don't need to know what this means yet. Just trust, we got you. So I trust, I know they got me. So it's all good. I am very curious to learn more about Shigure and the past, because we do see like baby Shigure in this episode, which I was like, whoa, okay, that was surprising. But yeah, I'm very curious to know what the dream he's referring to meant, and what love he's referring to. Like, does he love Akito? Weird, because he was a child then, so I don't even know if Akito would have been like an infant, which, ew. But like, I don't know. It's weird. The episode was really weird, and not in like a bad way, just weird. I just don't know what to make of it. It was very strange. So everybody, if you did enjoy today's video, then by all means hitting that like button, sharing the video around on the internet, that'd be super rad of you. And if you would like to stick around and check out more videos from me, then by all means go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join the good ones. And as always, before we go, I gotta give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Dominic, Urza, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Omner Garamond, Opinionated Slime, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Tristan, and Veridin. Thank you so much for your continued support over on Patreon, and if you too would like to help turn this channel into something that can sustain me full time, then by all means go ahead and consider checking out the Patreon in the link in the description. Check out all the cool rewards you can get over there. It would be sincerely appreciated. And with all of that said, until our next meeting, stay rad and don't scary.